Welcome to Van Tate's Sports Office, an in-depth look at the world of sports, featuring exclusive interviews with our KRQE News Sports Director, Van Tate, sponsored by Caesars Sportsbook at Route 66 Casino.
Sports Office is talking about football today, and we're talking to a guy that people in New Mexico remember because he's got his own little legend going on here, national champion sprinter, state champion football player, two-time Mountain West honors when he was playing for San Diego State, and also spent some time with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and currently the Hamilton Tiger Cats of the Canadian Football League. Jordan Byrd, that's your introduction, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Appreciate you again for having me.
And let's just get right into it, man. I know usually you're at somebody's camp playing football. Was it playing for the Hamilton Tiger Cats this year in the Canadian Football League? How did you like that?
It was fun, man. It was a great experience, especially going out and living in Canada as well. It was a big difference. I enjoyed it. I loved the team. Unfortunately, I got hurt with them, but it was still a blessing to go out there and play. So it was fun.
And so what they got you doing this time around?
I was returning. Just strictly returning. I was a punt return and kick returner over there. Now I'm back home, just staying healthy or getting myself right and, getting ready for the next season, either with CFL or in the UFL.
Well, you got plenty of time to get it right because both of those leagues kind of have that March start time. And so you got time to get your injuries healed up. What could take us back to what happened? Tell us what happened. How did you end up suffering that injury?
It was a weird injury. I was getting ready to field the punt, and my knee actually just gave up on itself. I don't know what happened, but I ended up just trying to catch the punt, and my knee just gave out, and I didn't get hit. I didn't get nothing. It was just honestly just a self-hurt injury. I don't know how to explain it, but it was definitely pretty crazy.
Well, when that happened, were you just thinking like, oh no, here we go?
Oh yeah, especially not getting hit, nothing like that. It was a crazy injury for sure. I definitely did not expect that, especially all the training and stuff that I go through. It was definitely a crazy injury for sure.
And prior to going to the Hamilton Tiger Cats, you spent some time with the Steelers. What was that like, man? Like being in camp with Tomlin and all that stuff.
Oh, it was awesome, especially seeing him on TV, seeing the things that he preaches out, and seeing that in person was actually, a lot of people don't get the opportunity, and I got the opportunity to go out there and show that I could play football. Unfortunately, I did not make the team, but it was a great experience to go out there and see what the NFL was about for sure, and especially the Steelers.
And you didn't make the team, but I'm sure speed is speed, even with no matter what league, what level you're on. And tell me about that. How did your speed translate to the NFL? What was that like?
It was great. They had plans for me. The stuff plays and like that as well. They trusted me back there as a punt returner. That's the hardest position I think in the league is being a returner, and they trusted me back there. I did my job. That's one thing that returners bring back there is you got to be confident, and they trusted me out there, and I love that. And hopefully one day I can keep doing that. Even though it's not with the NFL, CFL, UFL, just get the opportunity to show speed.
And what did you I tried to keep up with you as best as I could when preseason and stuff like that. Did you bust one out, or did you? What's like your best your best
Oh
return
no,
in a Steelers uniform?
I had a decent return with when we played. I think it was Tampa Bay. I think I had a decent return, but other than that, I didn't really get no good opportunities. But it's just part of the game.
And then in the CFL, you were that's more of an open field, and you probably were able to showcase some of that speed because of the way that field is, right?
Oh yeah, I was. I had a good return when we played Winnipeg. I had a 50-yard return. It was a great return. I almost scored, but I ended up getting called back because it was holding, but it wasn't holding. It was a crazy call what they called on us, but it was a good return. I'm glad I got to show what I could do out there for sure. So it was pretty cool.
And then you talked about the UFL. If you get that opportunity, is that going to be something that you go to the UFL for a little while and try to work your way back to the another NFL opportunity, because they do those leagues mingle a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if I do got opportunity to go back in the NFL, I will take it. But at the same time, I'm getting old now, so just starting up my life as well. Too, I've been starting it now. I got the opportunity to see what the real world is, and I'm on the right path now with things I'm doing.
What are some of those things you're doing?
Right now, I'm actually a trainer with Athlete Ready. I'm being a physical trainer, training kids, adults, stuff like that. So it's definitely an eye opener, just to find something else better than what I was doing with football. Being a trainer, giving back to the kids, adults as well.
And are you surprised about how, like you have an advantage being an athlete, because a lot of people don't know how to work out, and I'm sure you're finding that out now. And then, somebody could do something for 15 minutes and crack a sweat, and they think they got a good workout, and it's like, no,
Oh,
man, you need to be here for a couple hours. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
you're used to pushing yourself to the limit, especially with spring football. Spring football workouts are crazy,
oh
and
yeah, most
so
definitely.
yeah,
Especially with kids being on an off season, that's the time to really put in the work that you need to for upcoming seasons and stuff like that. Just staying in shape, doing stuff like routes and all that. I think that's one thing that helps kids. Is off season training. Off season training is definitely help out kids.
how surprising has it been to you to find people who really don't, like I said, they don't know how to work out?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a lot of people think, just going to the gym and, picking up a bar is the right way of doing stuff, just lifting up something, there's there's technical ways of doing workouts for sure.
Right.
And um what Athlete Ready, provides for the kids and adults and stuff is awesome. And it's a great way of showing what training is for sure.
The conversation is just getting started. We have more on the other side. Sometimes I actually talked to a guy who was covering you when you were playing at San Diego State, who didn't realize you were this national track champion, and
Uh,
he was so surprised, man. Do you ever like lean on some of that stuff in your dealings as an athlete nowadays?
um, You know me, I'm humble, so I really don't be I don't bring that into the stuff I do. I just like to make sure to develop a kid right, make sure we're injury free. Um, you know, I just let my name speak for itself. I don't brag about myself a lot, but I do like to help out the kids for sure, especially the kids that I'm training now. That encourages those kids, and I'm for sure. I think I'm a role model for them, and then it pushes them to be better, and in their training, and then when they're playing on the field as well.
You have to say it sometime though, like, hey man, if need be, I can smoke you, because
Oh
I'm
yeah. No,
I'm the former national champion in the 100 and 200, right?
yes, sir. I think the 200. I think Alejandro was beating me in that, but the 100, I did have that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
do you plan on just like you'd like to have a family one day and all that stuff?
Hopefully, I'm a dog guy, so I love having dogs. So I might have more dogs than kids. So we'll see how that goes. But
Oh,
I definitely would have a family. But I'm a dog guy. I haven't planned on any kids anytime soon. So.
well played, Mr. Byrd.
Oh yes.
well, get back to football. How much do you miss it, and what are you doing in the off season to get ready to make sure you're ready to go in March?
Um, you know, I do miss football. Sometimes you get those memories. You're just sitting at home, thinking of football. But I just like watching my friends at this moment. Some of my friends are still playing in college, in the NFL as well. Just watching them, um, it really it inspires me to help out the youth for sure. And right now, I'm just training, working out, staying in shape, running. Favorite thing I like to do is when I'm training is running hills. I think that builds up speed for myself, and I'm not sure for others, but that's one thing that I love to do. But yeah, just staying in shape for sure. You don't never know when you're gonna get a call, but
Right.
always staying fit is always the best thing for me.
And you said some of your former friends, some of your former teammates and stuff like that are still going at it, and you made me think about Keyshawn Banks, New
Oh
England
yeah,
Patriots right now at the moment, right? He's with the
yes
Patriots.
sir.
Is that correct?
Yeah. He's with the Patriots. I seen a couple pictures of him being a wide receiver, so I was a little shocked at that, but that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
Is Keyshawn trying to play receiver now, or I
I'm
know he's
I'm
playing
not sure.
linebacker though, right?
Yeah. He posted a picture on Instagram. He had the little wide receiver stance. It was pretty cool.
He
So
was
I
messing with you.
I laughed. I don't know. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it though. I was gonna reach out to him and tell him, man, I like to see you at wideout.
Well,
I didn't
speaking
get the
of
chance a few
different
days.
positions and stuff like that, when you go back, are you going to try to do any other things? Like, have they ever thought to have you as a safety or cover or corner or anything
Oh
like that?
no. I might be a little too small to be covering wide receivers for sure.
It's going to stay strictly uh, punt return and kick return, or are you going to try to concentrate on receiving? Because I mean, you are effective in open field as a receiver, especially when you get some isolation.
Oh yeah, yes sir. I mean, I hope I get the opportunity to, play wide receiver. I didn't play wide receiver when I was in college, but I moved up when I went with the Steelers, and I'm still trying to learn that position as well too. Learning the techniques of being a wide receiver. It's a big difference from coming from a running back to a wide receiver. It's a lot more plays you got to learn for sure. A lot more routes and stuff like that I got to learn. But I think I'm getting better at it as the more I keep going. I got the opportunity to do that in the CFL, so I got some some skin around my belt. This
Yeah.
definitely helped me out for sure. So
No more running back.
no, yeah, no more running back, no more. So
What do you, as far as coaching in the future, is that something that you would think that you would do?
I think so. Because I love being around sports. That's I've always been around sports all my life, and becoming a coach would probably be, definitely in the long run, I'll think about being a coach for sure.
Much more conversation coming your way on the other side.
We'll get back to the episode in a moment. Monica Wicki here, host of New Mexico Living. I wanted to let you know that this episode is sponsored by Route 66 Casino and Caesars Sportsbook. If you love sports and like having a little action on the game, Caesars Sportsbook is your go-to destination. For rewards and more info, go to route66casino.com. Now back to the episode.
You won that state championship with the Manzano Monarchs. You guys going 13-0, giving the school its first football championship. Do you is there any how much does that special moment line up with some of the other special moments you've had? Like even when you came back home and was the offensive MVP of the New Mexico Bowl when you were playing for San Diego State. When you look at those kind of moments, which one is the moment that you remember the most and that it's like one of your favorites?
Probably one of my favorites is probably when we beat Boise my freshman year. Think that was probably like the moment that I knew that, I can really compete in college. In high school, I really enjoyed those times, especially running state, the first time or first ever state with Monzano, that was a big blessing. I think my favorite memory of, my football career was probably beating Boise, having that scoring touchdown for sure was my favorite because I was a freshman at the time. I was only 17 years old playing against, seniors, guys getting drafted, the next that year. So it was pretty cool to play against that. And then I played against a guy that I played with in Hamilton, he was a DB. So talking with him about that was pretty crazy.
And like when you go back to that, is it the touchdown like that stands out in your head, or just the overall experience?
Just the overall experience, it was a sold out game. It was a rivalry game, and it was just a crazy moment. It was a crazy moment, especially being out in Boise playing on that blue turf was, just seeing that on TV and being there was crazy.
And you had the pleasure of playing for Rocky Long. Like I tell people all the time that Rocky Long is a player's coach, man. They when he was coming back here to be a defensive coordinator, they thought they'd have a little room for some of the former players to meet him, but they ended up having to get a bigger room because there's so many former guys came back to see him. Talk about what it was like to play for such a legend like Rocky Long.
Oh yeah, even talking about today, I actually recently just talked to a former player that played at the Lobos. He congratulated me and everything, and said that that you and him took me as a brother, playing that with Rocky Long as well too. Even though I went to San Diego State, but I got the chance to play with Rocky. It was awesome, especially hearing his stories and going to the UNM games when I was little, and then getting a chance to play with him was a blessing.
Yeah, well, he really turned that program around, man. To San Diego State, and you were there at a good time, like during the heyday.
Yes.
Do you are your all your memories are pretty good from being part of that whole situation? I'm sure, because you guys really put them on the map. They're struggling now because I mean he hasn't been there for a couple of years, but you were there during the heyday. What was that like as far as the attention that the program was getting, and you being a focal point of that program?
Yeah, he had high standards. He reminded me of, or as Mike Tomlin. He has standards is his standards, and if you're not meeting those standards, it's hard to accomplish things with him. And I think with the team that I was with, we accomplished those standards that he wanted us to do, and we pushed ourselves, we pushed each other. Off season was definitely not the prettiest, but we fought through it and got to where we're at now. So he turned us into men for sure.
Yeah, just talk about that a little bit. What as far as I'm sure that you take that with you for your life. Like it makes you able to overcome some things during life, because I mean you when you're in those battles, just trying to work out hard enough and all that stuff, you just think I can't move, I can't do this, and then an hour later you're still out there and you find out something about yourself.
Oh yeah, you do, especially the trainings that Rocky Long and his strength coach put us through. At the time it was hard for us, but looking back at it, it definitely helped us to overcome a lot of. We strove through adversity, especially in games that we played when we were down, and we had to come back and fight through it and win those games. And um, Rocky Long knew what we needed to do, especially on the off season, and he taught us right, and he got us to where we're at now. San Diego State's not really doing too well right now, but they're a young team, and they know what they have to do in previous years. So we set a big standard for that team for sure.
Well, New Mexico football, they all it's and I've talked to other people doing this show about how New Mexico football is kind of overlooked, especially the high school ranks. Do you feel like it's starting to get more credit? You see a guy like you see a Diego Pavia, you see different people come out there and put the state on the national stage.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We got guys like Diego Pavia, going out there beating Alabama. That's a big accomplishment. I trained with the guys, so it's exciting to see Albuquerque guys like him going out there and showing that we can play for sure. We got guys like Cam Dyer. I heard he got injured, but he's striving through that. He's definitely going to be the guy that's going to put New Mexico on the map. Got a lot of dudes out here that can play football. We just got to get them out there and show them that we can do this.
So you're working out with Pavia, and you said he got that dog in him, huh?
Oh yeah, he definitely does. He pushes me. He definitely was when we were working out together, we were competitive. Even though we weren't working out, we were done with our workout. We're still out there, doing more push-ups, and then we're trying to see who can do the best thing. We're always competing against each other, and that's what I love about Diego. He's competitive, and
Right.
he'll never give up on anything. Even though I was faster than him, he always lines up next to me and always trying to race me. So he He's definitely a competitive person, and I love that about him.
Yeah, I told him the last time he came through here because of all the stuff he accomplished. I told him that I was going to stop talking to him. I'm just going to start barking.
Oh yeah,
I said I'm not going to use any words anymore.
he might bark back. You know, he'll bark back at you. Trust me.
Well, hey man, it is always a pleasure to have you come through. Before we get out of here, one more question: how is your children's book? I don't know how many people know that you had a children's book out there, and how is that going? And is that taking a life of its own?
It's been going up and down. It still has a 5-star. I'm shocked myself, but it's going good. You know, my mom just had a thing with UNM hospitals, and she gave out some of the books. I still have them with me. I gotta go take them over there and give them to the kids. You know, since I'm back in town now, but you know, it was exciting to see that. You know, it's still going strong.
So we waiting on the next one now, right?
Hopefully that or a Netflix show. So we'll see.
Well, hey, man, always a pleasure. He's Jordan Byrd. You can see Jordan Byrd during the Canadian Football League season, either with the Hamilton Tiger Cats or another team, or in the UFL. He's working on that now. That's going to be in March. If you guys want to catch up and see some Jordan Byrd highlights, the guy runs like no other. I mean, it looks like a cartoon when you run, man. I don't know if you realize that, but you always freak us out. So
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
thank you. Thank you for your time once again, and thank you for always coming on and joining us, Jordan.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for
All
always having
right.
me.
All right. Until next time, people, we'll see you later.